Hey y'all, welcome to ReligionWinked TV where my spiritual ears stay. Alright guys, so basically let me go ahead and share my disclaimer. Viewer discretion is advised. We're going to talk about how one teen was killed at the hand of a gun by 4 police officers, and then also mention how one teen, another youth, was able to buy a gun with maybe his stimulus check. We'll get into that in about 30 seconds and the show will begin. Thank you. Alright guys, so as I said, please get yourself over to ReligionWinked TV where you can subscribe, like, share. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when we go live, upload, and or premiere. Alright, so with that being said, my title may not be explanatory, but basically it's the irony of guns all. You know how you say the irony of it all? Well, it is the guns in this case. Because as we all know, we heard about a story out of Jacksonville, Florida yesterday where a teen was shot down by 4 officers. Multiple rounds was shot. Allegedly the story says that the young man had a gun or had some issues with the police before there was a possible lawsuit going on. But basically, I just wanted to tell you guys, that's crazy to me. And on the flip side of it, it's even more crazy when Kyle Rittenhouse, all right, was allegedly able to go out and buy a firearm with his stimulus check. Now, this is the same Kyle that during the protest, I believe out in Portland, Oregon somewhere, when the youth had got shot out there by the police 7 times in his back. I cannot remember his last name. But this dude allegedly reports is saying that he bought a firearm with his stimulus check. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pull this article back up. Yes, so accused Kenosha killer Kyle Rittenhouse bought an an AR-15 with stimulus check report. That's crazy, right? Wow, so listen to this. Let me go ahead and give you guys some insight on what happened to the little youth down in Florida yesterday. Basically, reports were saying via NewsJax at 6 on Fox 30, Jacksonville, Florida, Action News Jax reporter Alicia Tarancon spoke exclusively to 18-year-old Devon Gregory's family. Now, this happened down around San Juan Avenue near Casat Avenue. And basically what happened was she reported that the family is asking for body camera footage to be released immediately because they want justice. The family said that they're devastated because they say they found out about the teen's death from the watching of the news Wednesday morning. So it's like the police didn't even want to call the family and let them know that this happened to their son. They had to find out, like many of us, through news or other bloggers or YouTubers reporting on it, right? That's kind of like Kawan Bobby Charles, the young lad down in Louisiana, whom the sheriffs at one point did not want to put out an Amber Alert, right? Allegedly, as reports were saying. So why do the police feel the need to cover up and hide stuff? Aren't these body cams supposed to be to protect and serve? So hopefully they'll disclose them and they'll have some information on there to tell exactly what really happened. The family said that they're devastated because they say they found out about the teen's death from watching the news Wednesday morning. They told Tehran Khan police haven't been able to give them any answers as to what led up to the shooting. And that's a hell of a position to be in as a family, not knowing why your child was gunned down like that. They murdered my baby. It's not right. It's not right, Tawana Myrick said. Now, allegedly, there was reports going around that, there was a YouTuber who said the mom was dead. She could have misspoke. Or whatever. We're not going to get into the controversy around the video she put out with other content creators and YouTubers having their opinion about it. We're going to stick to this report right here. The mother is alive. Action News JAX down in Florida spoke to the mother. The mother name is Tawana Myrick, okay? Myrick is Devon's mother, and she's heartbroken, like any mother would be. Even if something happened to my children right now, and I let you guys always know, like my relationships with my two sons and my daughter, I can understand. I raised her, but my two sons been a little estranged, not in a hateful way. They just keep to themselves. I keep to myself for the most part. But if something happened to them, I'd be heartbroken too, especially if they got gunned down by police and they don't want to let us know why. Immediately, sometimes I tell y'all, police departments, they sit on the fact that they can come up with their own narrative before they release their statement, and I don't like that. So anyway, it goes on to say, she said her son was killed Tuesday night after police opened fire during a traffic stop on San Juan Avenue. Family said Gregory was on the way to his girlfriend's house with two of his cousins when they were pulled over by the police. Now, this is where the YouTuber Bama Girl Vlogs, if you follow her, you can go over and pay your respects or whatever. This is allegedly her godson, and she was saying that her son her son Gucci, at some point was in the car with this young man, and I'm sure as a parent she's very grateful that her son made it out alive, but it's bittersweet because she's heartbroken that her godson didn't. I never been in this situation, so I really don't know how she's feeling, but just from being a human being with a heart, one after the heart of God, I can understand the pain she may be going through and the bittersweetness surrounding this case. At some point in time, her biological son got out the car. There's all kinds of reports the grandmother may have been in the car. I'm not really sure about the ins and outs with that, you all. That's why I said I'm not your traditional blogger, because you never know who's telling the damn truth or what's real or what's not real, because some people know how to fabricate stories just to get not only a click and a view. We're talking about national television as well. They've been able to get it wrong. And then when families are distraught and going through a critical time like this, such as Tawana Myrick, the mother, sometimes our feelings, our emotions, the pain and sting of it all, sometimes we in the heat of the moment, you don't see it clearly. You may not say it clearly. You may say it with a hot head or a broken spirit. Just like with an eyewitness, fear may, not get them to tell the right story, or just that trauma. Sometimes it always don't come out on the way it should when they're on the witness stand, like per se in court. And it happens. We're human. So I don't really like to follow stories and report on them unless I really know. Okay, so you'll hear me say allegedly a lot, even when it come down to the names of people, because some people come on social media with made up names and made up accounts. I don't know if this the people real names or not. You know what I'm saying? But we have to believe, as far as the mother go, her name is Tawana Myrick. As far as her son go, his name is Devon Gregory, I do believe. And all the other players involved, I'm not really sure of. But the report goes on to say, family said Gregory was on his way to his girlfriend's house with his cousins when they were pulled over by the police. Now, are they cousins? Are they related? I'm not really sure with Bama Girl Vlog's son and this young lad here. I'm not sure about that, but there were other people in the car. And the question that most people have is, how was he the only one? Was he targeted? Because he the only one came up dead, not alive. Life cut short. So his aunt was on the phone with him moments before he died. And I seen that video, and I did not take a recording of that video, but she was saying something to the effect, she was telling him to get out the car or do something. And I don't know. I saw the lady sitting on the couch, and it was the aunt making mention to the conversation she had right up until she said she heard the shots fired. Wow. Wow. Why didn't the police, if he was on the phone, say, hey, let me talk to whoever you talking to? Maybe they could have coerced him out of the car. Maybe the aunt, could have, did something over the phone. The rationalization of the police department is wicked to me. It's very impulsive. It's very judgmental. It's very fearful, because for them to be a police officer, whether they see a gun or not, they're always at a feeling, oh, my life is in jeopardy. Then what the hell are you a police officer for? And why do you answer the calls or make these traffic stops knowing that there could be a potential gun in the car or somebody holding a gun ready to shoot back at you once you start shooting at them? Like, there's got to be something done about the police organization. Somehow, like they can test your breathalyzer. These people not only need body cams, they need body scanners to let you know if their blood pressure is raised, if they're with emotions, whether it's a calm emotion or I'm gonna kill you, black, NIGGAER, whatever else letters you want to add on to that. What is their mentality? What is their mood when they fire their gun? That's what I want to know. I want to be able to read their heart and see what the motive behind pulling the trigger so many times to kill, most times, unarmed black men. I just want to know, people, if there's somebody that can invent something of that nature. If they really want to reform the police department, one of the ways is every time they hook on their uniform, somewhere in that uniform, something is reading their heart's motive, their blood pressure, all that stuff. Because I'm telling you, fight or flight, they experience it just like we do. But unfortunately, we always end up losing our lives because we refuse to run or stand there and face the police. And, sometimes, like I said, Rayshawn Brooks, he was there questioning the police, answering their questions, very calm. And you can see how that one cop was just egging them on, questioning them on a scale of 1 to 10. You think you're sober or drunk or high or whatever. Like, are you kidding me? Let that man get in his car, sleep off whatever the hell it was he had on him, and talk about it in the morning. But no, they know how to instigate you to the point where they'll end up shooting you behind it all. It's crazy, guys. So I'm going to just go ahead and move on a little bit in this story. Then we're going to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse, on the other hand, was able to go out and buy a gun, you all, allegedly with his stimulus check. The one when they were out there protesting the young man who got shot in his back, I do believe, by the police officers, and he ended up surviving but paralyzed, if I remember correctly. Well, the white young youth that was out there shooting, I believe he killed one, injured two, or killed two, injured one. The police gave him some water, some shit to eat, whatever, took him on downtown, let him go home. Just probably discard of this, get rid of this AR-15, allegedly. He bought the same rifle he was out there shooting and killing people with. This country is ass backwards. Very backwards. So, police said there was a gun found in the car after the shooting, but was it used prior to it? Was there any intent to harm an officer prior to the shooting? Whether it was found in there after the fact or not, they could have threw the damn gun in there, if you ask me, to cover up all of this shooting for no damn reason. But was the gun a threat prior to the young man being shot, is the question that needs to be asked. But Gregory's family told Tarakan that they don't know who it belongs to. Remember, there was other people, the two cousins, that was in the car along with the young man. And that's the question. When you're in a car with somebody, whether it's drugs or a gun, and you know when you get pulled over, if nobody admits to that, it actually belongs to the driver of that car. If it's not found on the person directly, but just in the car, if nobody in their car own up to it, it actually goes on the driver of the car. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Most times when a person is driving the car, they're in possession of that car and anything that's found in that car. So that's why y'all hear me say, oh, I'm skeptical of giving rides. Absolutely. I don't care you live in the hood of Hollywood. You don't know what anybody has on their possession. God forbid your light go out, police pull you over. All of a sudden, you got all kinds of shit smeared out on your back seat, under your seats, in your glove compartment. Be like, hold up. All I was doing was giving you a ride. And I've seen a lot of people go to prison because of that. The person that had the drugs, the guns, the whatever on them did not own up to it when they got pulled over. But the question of the day is, was the gun found in the car a threat prior to the police firing shots? So his family says the teen was working 2 jobs and staying out of trouble. So staying out of trouble is an indication he had been in trouble before. There's reports saying basically that he was probably going to be suing the police department. And I know when you got a loyal, legit case, they do harass you to the point of death so they don't have to pay out that money. But unlike Breonna Taylor's situation and family, if they would have held out a little bit longer, they probably would have owned the damn Federal Reserves and any other money printed up in this bitch. I'm serious. But sometimes the dollar amount causes people to act impulsively and quickly, knowing $12 or $12 million can't bring back your loved one. So why not break the bank for $1,200 million? Make these people pay. They're killing your loved ones for no reason. Break the police department. Hell, make them all be back on damn foot. Remember, they were created as an institution to round up the unruly Negroes they thought was escaping the plantation to a freer life. What's the excuse today? And how can we keep allowing these beasts to grow to a place of where they no longer want to serve and protect us, but be the enemy in the harm against us. So Myrick says that her son was taken away from her much too soon. Absolutely. And I did see a video with the mom on TV crying. Absolutely. He was just a baby. He just made 18. There was some reports saying he was 19, but there is another story. And I'm gonna go to that story after this, after I read to you about Kyle Rittenhouse, the one. See, I didn't want to put black or white in the title. I told you we got to get away from that. But it's real funny to me and strange how a black teenager is killed at the hands of the police with a gun, but then another black teenager who killed some damn people in front of the police was able to purchase a gun with a damn stimulus check. Something ain't right, y'all. Something. Okay, it goes on to say, yeah, he just made 18, and the mom says, taken way too soon. So there are still a lot of questions regarding the shooting of Devon Gregory. Now, the other young man, ironically and weird enough, is out of Jacksonville, Florida. His name was Marcellus Stennett, 19 years old, but he was gunned down by the police outside of Illinois, or in Chicago, Illinois, but he himself was from Jacksonville, Florida. So if that's true, and if that was recent as well, let's pray for Jacksonville, Florida, because they are losing young men, as far as I can see, 2 within the past week. I'm going to go check the date on that other report, but I do believe they're recent, So, again, Gregory's family said they have set up a GoFundMe account to help pay for funeral expenses. This is a big narrative and topic going around. Are we in the black community prepared for death? Question. Whether it's insurance, whether it's burial, whether it's sickness, injury, whatever, loss of job, whatever it is, are we? So now there was allegedly an amount of $6,000 going around for this GoFundMe, and basically people were saying it wasn't growing as fast or whatever, but I'm not here. I'm just adding extra commentary of what's out there. My question is to you all is, if we had lost a loved one today, would we on our own be able to go bury our loved ones? Or would we need help? So I like to not make light on people's situation, but find the light in it. The light is we all need to prepare for death. We all need to learn how to get ourselves in a position. It's a part of life. There's no life without it. And no, I'm nowhere near ready to bury myself, let alone any one of my children, because it's not a mother's destiny to bury her child before herself. None of us is ready for that. But how do we cope with it? Who can we go to? Why do we get angry and bitter at other people that can help us through, pull us up, keep us afloat, support us? So are we ready? Is the black community really prepared for death? And why does it take a funeral to destroy most black families? There's a lot of questions surrounding death in the black community. I'm always open to have a panel and to talk to you guys about it. Let me see. Let me check over here and see if there's anybody in the chat, in the comments. All right. So you guys can catch it and watch it on the replay. Let me get back over here. I'm going to grab this link. That way you guys can check out this commentary for yourself. All right, so all we can hope for is that the body cams are released and that they show something that can help the family understand exactly what happened to their loved one. All right. I'm just gonna put teen Jack, Florida, okay? And you guys can know what that is. This is the first link for the first story we talked about down in Jacksonville, Florida. Now, if I can go out of this, boom. Bear with me, y'all. I should be able to go back to that other story. Hold on. Let me just put his name in since I know it. Oh, let me do this. Because this was weird. When I was looking up the young man down in Jacksonville, All right, so basically, wow. Oh, this happened October 23rd, 2020. There was an update. So this year, yeah, let me go ahead and grab this link as well. Because there was another young man that by the name of Marcellus Stinnett, family of teen from Jacksonville killed by police in Illinois speak. So basically, another youth from Jacksonville, Florida was visiting Illinois and got shot and killed by the police during a traffic stop in Waukegan, Illinois on Tuesday. So this is back in October, I believe. Stennett's family says the 19-year-old was born and raised in Jacksonville and went to Terry Park High School before moving to Illinois. So he left Jacksonville, moved to Illinois, and this is where I believe the people were getting the two ages mixed up. Some people were probably Googling this story and, getting it confused with the other 18-year-old down in Jacksonville, but they're related. Both young men were originally from Jacksonville, both shot by police officers during a traffic stop. How eerie is that, people, right? And I wonder if there's any relation between this family and the family who just lost their son down in Jacksonville. So Stennett's family says the 19-year-old was born and raised in Jacksonville, and then, he moved to Illinois. Quote, I have to be strong for my sisters. I have to be strong for my mother. I have to be strong for everybody. I've tried to be strong, but I can't. They took something I can't get back. To Nellis Holmes, Stennett's sister said. Wow, this is deep, you all. So I do have the link to this story right here. There is another young youth back in October that was shot down in the streets of Illinois somewhere. And basically, again, they thought it was the hands of some type of street thug or something like that, the family is saying. But when you get the full details and find out that it was a police officer, it hits you in a different manner. And end quote. I do agree. And that was said from Selvin Holmes, Stennett's father. Quote, we thought it was at the hands of some type of street thug or something like that. And let's keep it real. If you know your children is in the street, you would expect that. You wouldn't expect anybody to murder your child, but you would be able to accept that and reason with that because your child is out there in that environment versus being pulled over by the police and ended up losing his life. How come the police do not know how to de-escalate situations? I believe they're out there instigating all of these murders and all of these killings. Absolutely. So he says, but when you get the full details and find out that it was a police officer, it definitely hits you in a different manner. So it goes on to say, when my baby went out, he went out with a smile. I really don't know how much of that you guys got. Bear with me. Wow. Are you serious? So we're going to share this link right here. This is Teen Illinois. Let's put that for the second article. Illinois. Okay. Via Jack, Florida. Guys, there's another teen. That's two teens from Jacksonville. All right, so that's it. Now, let's go ahead and get into Kyle Rittenhouse. So, accused Kenosha killer Kyle Rittenhouse used his government stimulus check to buy the AR-15 he allegedly used to fatally shoot two men this summer, according to new reports. Y'all hear this? At 17, Rittenhouse was too young to purchase the assault rifle under Wisconsin's law, so he gave his pal Dominic Black, then 18, the money to buy the one in the spring, the accused gunman told the Washington Post. I got my $1,200 from the Corona, Illinois unemployment because I was on furlough for YMCA, and I got my first unemployment check. So I was like, I'll use it to buy it, Rittenhouse told the Washington Post from a juvenile detention center. Y'all hear it is? Where he's been held on $2 million cash bail since the August shootings. Wow. Black is now charged with 2 felony counts of intentional giving of a dangerous weapon to a minor, resulting in death after Rittenhouse allegedly gunned down Anthony Hoover and Joseph Rittenhouse during riots in Kenosha on August 25th. He shot somebody with his last name. Wow. Black of Kenosha told investigators he bought Rittenhouse the Smith & Wesson M&P rifle because his pal was too young to do it himself. The pair had agreed to transfer ownership of the rifle to Rittenhouse in a year, that Washington Post said. Now, basically, why transfer ownership to him when you letting them use it this year? That's stupid. So it goes on to say, in the jailhouse interview, Rittenhouse reiterated that he acted in self-defense during the riots that kicked off following the police shooting of Jacob Blake. That's his name. 2 days earlier. That was the young man who got shot 7 times in his back. I was going to a place where people had guns, and God forbid somebody brought a gun to me and decided to shoot me, the teen said. I wanted to be protected, which I ended up having to protect myself. And I believe he took 2 lives in the process. Here's a man who could not buy a gun, yet he goes get someone of age to do it. He goes to a protest with this gun, probably looking for a problem, and then calls it self-defense. Rittenhouse is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, which could land him in prison for life if convicted. So you guys go ahead and check that out. You can go to the New York Post, put in Kyle Rittenhouse, and that article should come up, okay? So with that being said, thank you all. Is there anything else I want to share with you? Hold on. I've given you all the information. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. God bless you and have a great day. Peace, everybody. And you know what? Christ came to give us life more abundantly. And for the love of God, I wish and pray that we would all begin to choose that life. Now, I'm not saying bad things don't happen to good people, because it absolutely does. But what we have to do at all costs is avoid those situations. And I know it's hard to avoid the police, but whatever we're doing to attract the attention of them, because you got to face it, there's just some people in this world that have no encounter with the police at all. So we have to get the message out to our youth and to the ones in our community that there's something. And I know it's just being a black man driving a fly car, dressing nice, driving down the highway. That's enough to attract the attention of the enemy, of the open enemy of this land, of the oppressor. You watch that movie with Ice-T. Not Ice Cube, Ice-T. It's called Surviving the Game, I do believe. It's an old school movie, but they set him up to go out to hunt. And then on this hunting trip, he become the hunted. He become the prey. So there's always going to be a target on your back. Male or female, if you come from a specific race that the police were designed to keep in control and to keep in check, rather than to serve and to protect, you're going to have a mark on your back. So we got to come up with a plan. We got to come up with some kind of repellent that can actually repel this off of our community and off the backs of our young black men. With that being said, shout out to the one. This video is actually about a young black man in Jacksonville, Florida, got killed by the police. But then on the other hand, you got Kyle Rittenhouse, who shot 2 people dead damn near in front of the police out in those protests with Jacob Black back in August, I believe. He got to buy a damn AR-15 rifle with a stimulus check. Now, something is wrong in this country, absolutely. So with that being said, shalom, everybody. God bless you. Have a great day. We're going to go ahead and exit out of here. Remember, you can subscribe on any one of these boxes that you may see here in this video. And you can go ahead and go over to ReligionWinked TV, which is my channel here on YouTube. And you can subscribe, like, share, comment. Like, share, subscribe, and comment on this video. And hit the notification bell so that you know when I go live, upload, and or premiere. Shalom, everybody. Hopefully you get this video. It makes sense. I posed the right questions to you, gave you valuable content that you can use. And as far as this guy, Kyle Rittenhouse, who was able to buy a firearm that killed someone with his stimulus check, there has to be more vetting done in America. See, America needs to stop accusing black people of being the wicked people of the earth and start looking at their own kind. And with that being said, shalom, everybody. God bless you and have a great day. Peace.